Hello there, this is Patricia from Pinky's World, and this week I'm making a wee box for my fidget balls. This one hasn't been finished off yet, but some of them are just balls, others are actually go-go's. So I wanted to make a nice wee box. They're great at craft fairs and stuff. Great to give as presents for the young ones nowadays because they all are mad for these fidget balls. This one is, you just sort of, where is it? No, that's a different one. That's just an ordinary. This one actually is for a cat, would you believe? It won't be boxed. This one is a go-go fidget. It's the one I'm making the box for. It actually pulls out to be a go-go. So it is fairly big. When you finish it, you can double it up then. And then you're supposed to just twist it and put it round if you want to play with it like a fidget ball and just play about with it. It's supposed to help calm people, and it really does. I haven't sold, I don't really like to sell them. I want to give them to people who need them, you know. So I wanted to make a nice wee box for this one to present to somebody. And this is the box I come up with, and I'm not happy with it at all. So the one we're doing is going to be same sort of shape, but different colours entirely. I did not like the red came out darker on the blue colour. And I made these too big. I didn't like them, and just a number of things which I have now corrected in my own head, and hopefully I'll get it right. The sentiments we're going to use are from here. It's going to be for you with love, just simple as that. We're going to use this wee flowery stamp as I did round the bottom. That is a great wee stamp. I'm really pleased the way that's stamped out like a nice wee border. So it'd be nice for a card too. I must try that. So that's what we're using there. We're going with plain white this time and garden green. That way the colour won't change as I'm stamping it along the border. So we're just going with the garden green, and I have some garden green ribbon, lucky enough, left from a pack that came with real red and garden green together. So that's what we're going to work on. If you've escaped already, I'm sorry for boring you. But what you're going to need for your base of the box, you're going to need 8 1/4 inches by 8 1/4 inches, and that's to fit a sort of a 3-inch square scrunchie. But you know, if you're not using it for scrunchies, it'd be a lovely wee box for sweets or whatever else you can think of to put in there, hair accessories or some kind of soaps or something. So that's what you need, 8 1/4 by 8 1/4, and for the lid you need 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. I'm sorry if my voice sounds funny today. I am either dosed with hay fever or dosed with a cold, one or the other. That's what you get for going to weddings, isn't it? You pick up all sorts. So let's get started. We want to do a bit of scoring on the base side before we do any stamping and whatever to keep us right. So we're going to go in and score at 2 3/4 on all 4 sides. So just 2 3/4 and just spin it round. Sometimes it's just nice to use a box with no designer paper on it at all and just have fun with your stamps. Works out a whole lot cheaper for you than buying papers, you know, if you don't need to. While you have that out, get your wee lid 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. We're going to score it at 1 inch, but as usual we're going to have to slide it out to make sure that our box fits nicely and doesn't give us any hassle. So I'm just sliding it out. You can see that wee edge I've left. Just about half the size of that width on your scoreboard. So keep that in your head while you're doing it. We're going to score it at 1 inch. And we're going to have to spin it round and do that with each of them, which kind of makes it awkward if you don't get it in the same spot each time, but you just have to do it to make the box fit nice. So just at 1 inch on all 4 sides. Make sure you're well butted up so you don't have any crooked score lines. And try and keep it at the same distance. So we also going to need 2 wee pieces, and you've got a bit that you cut off when you're cutting your square there. So we want to cut 2 pieces at 1/2 inch wide. So I know this mark is roughly 1/2 inch. Just line it up with the wee black on this guillotine here. So you need 2 of those, and they only need to be 1.5 inches now, so we'll just chop them down again. and keep that wee piece, or you'll have leftover pieces you need for the front. So we want to go 1.5, didn't I say? Was it 1.5? Double check. Yeah, 1.5. I'm going to go. I didn't like the big one because it just looked so enormous on the box. It was just too much, I thought. So you can also score that one while you're here. We're just going to score it at 1/4 inch. We just want that wee bit at the end to stick to the box. So just 1/4 inch at both sides. And that will be all the scoring done. So now we want to move on to this piece. We're going to do our stamping, and we're going to do it around these 4 edges here. And as I said, we're going to use this nice wee flower stamp. No other colour, I'm just going for the green, just to give it a nice wee border, and the garden green, which will match our card. So it's just a matter of inking it up. Don't know how old this garden green is. It should be alright. So I'm going to keep the flower with no leaf sticking out down in the left hand corner, so that'll keep me right each time. I'm going to the centre of this line, roughly, not perfectly, but try and go to the centre to start your first one off. Now I'm having bother seeing this because my light shine down, but you try and get it in the centre and along the edge. You don't want to go below your score line. So do one in the centre and then do one to either side. Ugh, this is so hard to see. Sorry if my head sticks in. I really need to stand up above it. Just got away with that no more. And the same at this side. So that gives you your 3 for your border, and just spin it round and do the same here, here and here. And just keep spinning it round, start in the centre, one at either side, and then spin to here and then to here. So while I was stamping away there, I made the rash decision to change the wee bars to white so they'll blend in better, and I'm going to stamp 2 wee green hearts on them. I've also rounded the corners on them just to tidy them up a bit, and I'm using the same wee heart stamp out of that same stamp set just to carry that through. So we can put this ink away for a second. Covered. Messy. So set these out of the way, and we'll work on this first. So we want to, now it's had a wee bit of time to dry, I'm going to do my scores. So you're just scoring on every point. I'm sure you've made bases like this before. And now we want to cut up so that we can fold this all up together, but we need to leave like 2 flaps here and here to allow us to stick it. So just cut this one straight up to the top, and then we can chop it off here. And keep your white bits, they're all great for stamping on, and you're going to need a wee bit for your sentiment. So I'm just cleaning those off, and then you're going to do the same here. Cut right up on that fold line, right up to your score line there. Leave it, it doesn't matter if they're not all the same, this is all the hidden bits, so just leave it about 1/2 inch or so and just tidy up, cut in a wee bit. And just do the exact same over here and here, so that you have that base. So that's what you should be left with. I did forget to tell you, I'm going to add a piece of white to the top, the lid. So it needs to be 2 5/8 by 2 5/8, and we're going to stamp a border there too. Totally forgot. So this is where we are now. So this will all fold up and form the base of your box, but we want to add our wee ribbon holders. So yes, that's what I meant to show you. When you're closing your box up, you're going to have these at either side. That needs a wee trim. Make sure there's no lumpy bumpy bits where you've scored, because they don't look nice when you close your box up. They're okay. So we want our ribbon tags to be at the side. So we know then we're going to use these as our sides for the ribbon. You get your wee piece and we have fold those towards your stamping bit, both of them, and then you can give this a wee tiny curl, just the centre of it there, so that it sits out a wee bit for you. And we're going to use this part, the design, to keep it straight, and you want your hearts, if you've done that, facing up the ways. So we want to put a wee bit of glue on either side of those, and we're going to use the design of the run of this to roughly get it at the same spot. It will not matter. Just make it look as central as you can without going too crazy with marking it with lines and stuff. So just make sure you've got them facing up. This is the bottom of your box, so everything runs up this way. So just put that at about, trying to just use it so that it's central, and just press it and let it sit out that wee bit so that you can loop your ribbon through. So you're going to do the same on the other side. Turn up the wee bits towards your design, and then give it a wee scoot so that it curls slightly. Put glue on those two pieces and stick in place. And again, run it up. So try and go the same as you did there, and in the centre. Oops, I was nearly going to say I'm happy enough with that till it moved on me. That looks okay, I'm happy enough now. So we'll leave those to dry, and we're going to do our wee bit of action on the lid. So on our lid we're going to punch I'm going to use this particular punch here, and I want to give that a nice wee, as you can see on there, gives that a nice wee design without having to go around with scissors or whatever. It's really easy. But to make it even easier, get yourself a ruler and a pencil and go really light, really light. We're going to mark from this point up to here at 1/2 inch. Just put a wee notch in there. Do the same at the opposite side. And turn and just keep doing that, marking it at 1/2 inch. You'll understand in a minute why, and we will be rubbing these out again. You don't need to keep them. But do that on all 4 sides. So with those marked, you can see them there. We're going to use those to guide us when we're going in with our punch and going upside down with it. We want to punch just off here, but this shows you how far to bring your punch up. So if you balance it between those 2 lines on each side, that will keep you right. And also remember to balance it between the down lines so that you're in the centre. Just use the lines to guide you. And then just chop a piece off, and you're left with that nice wee design. So do that on all 4 designs, remembering to use your sideway lines to guide you. So you're now left with all 4 punched out, and you just want to take a bit of time and rub out your pencil lines, which should come off if you were nice and gentle when you were making them. These are really lightweight pencil. And there you wouldn't know you've been. So before we close that up, we want to do our wee bit of stamping again with our flour, which I put away, of course. So this one, I didn't want to go with hearts or anything, just went with too yucky. So get your wee, oops, black and your. Now I'm not quite sure if we're going to get the design to fit in perfectly. No, we should do, shouldn't we? So I'm going to ink it up. I think my green is actually drying up a bit. I'm going to have to re-ink it at some stage. So make sure you've got it well inked. And again, use the corner flower with no leaf as your guide for the centre. And just go along one edge. The green is lovely and crisp against the white, isn't it? I'm glad I changed my mind. We're going fractionally over here, but that's okay. Now, we don't want to go around in a circle, you know, following the square, square following the circle, but we do want to do on the opposite side, so keep doing that. 3 more this side. So when I have that, I'm going to let it dry and I'm going to do my wee front piece that we need to decorate the front of it. So I'm going to punch one of the larger ovals with the decoration in green, and I'm going to do the other one in white. See if I can get a piece that fits this. Yep. So we want to do For You with Love. I'm just going to use the same colour again. Try and keep that nice and straight. For You and with Love. So we're going to layer that up on top of another. Just keep it all nice and bulky. You could put, you could stamp the hearts if I thought it was just a wee bit too over the top for too many hearts. So I'll probably put 2 wee gems or something in there to finish it. I'm going to put another big one on the back just to raise it up again. And we're going to keep that till we're ready. So now where are we? We can close this. And we're going to stick this in place. Just thought the top was a wee bit bare with just the ribbon coming across. Plus it was the garden green ribbon, so you couldn't really see it. So this does the job. So just centralize it there. And hopefully we can do our scores now. Just double check nothing moves on you while you're doing this. I see a pencil mark. So just do all your score lines now, and then we're going to do a bit of cutting. Some making in this box, isn't there? Right, so now we're actually going to stick this one up so that we're ready to fit this on top. So add glue to your 4 flaps and form your box. I would use good sturdy glue or good sturdy tape, whichever you have, to make sure it holds on you. And just join your sides, making sure they're all lining up nicely. just like to put it flat on your table so that you know that your edge is going right down to the bottom, and flip it over and give it a rub. And just keep checking everything till you've all 4 sides done. So that should be your base all nicely made, and your 2 ribbon sliders to either side. And now we want to cut this. Excuse me, I'm all sticky now. So we know that we've only got a small opening here to hide our access card behind, but also to make our box hold. So you want to cut up that line, chop it in a bit, and then we're going to take a bit off. So we've only that width, so we can take a right wee bit off and just leave enough to catch it. Trim that off as well, and you want to do that on all 4 sides, just leaving that amount. You know, you don't need a whole lot. So just do that on all 4 sides. So now this is what you should be left with. You can see your wee flaps to add your glue to. Just set it on your box and make sure that everything is like lining up nicely for you. It's going to close properly, and any wee bits you need trimming now, do it now before you stick it. And that should be a nice wee finished box there. Plus you want your stamping running along so that the ribbon comes up the side and it ties here, so it's not interfering with any of the stamping. So we're going to join this up now. Look at that for a set here. Again, use nice strong glue. And just put it on all 4 flaps. And then I think the best way to do it is set your lid on, make sure none of your flaps is catching, the way that you want it to go, and then work your way around and make them do what you want. So just line up your nice corners. You can see that'll fit nicely. This one too. Slip it in. Just keep working your way around till you're happy. I haven't pressed them overly hard in case I have to go back and move something, but that seems good enough now. It seems secure. So you can see a nice wee finish the whole way around, which is good. That's what we're after. So now, get your ribbon. As I say, I'm going with the garden green ribbon. You want to thread it through here. Bring it round. Now actually, I'm going to thread it through here, down the ways. Saves me a cutting it until I'm ready to. And you want to make sure that your design is running the right way, that you're not putting the ribbon over the centre of it. And then just tie a wee bow. It doesn't need to be massive. This is a lovely ribbon. It's so easy to work with. Some of them chunky ribbons, I am useless at getting them to sit in a nice shape. So we'll just tee those off. And that is our box. We just need to put a sentiment there at the front, which we prepared earlier. And that will hold your scrunchie or your fidget toy or whatever it is you're at. I've really got into my crocheting at the minute, and I'm loving, there's so many good videos out there. So that just sort of mimics this. I think it's a great wee box. It's lovely, holds a lot if you want to just shove sweets in there or whatever, and you've got that wee bit of decoration at the side. You know, you could put something on the back if you wanted, but you know, it's going to be facing this way, so I'm happy enough with it. So I hope you enjoyed that and stuck with me to the end. But it'll be good for my wee scrunchy gifts. I think it's a nicer way to give it to it. My daughter was at a craft fair. She does those Comic Cons, and I give her a load of those wee wiggly worm items, and I just put them in baggies. So I thought it would be nice to have some of these for really nice wee gifts. So I'll catch you all again hopefully next week, and thanks very much for watching. Everything you used will be listed down below. Some stuff is retired, the ribbon, etc. But you have all loads of stuff in our crafts room. Just use away at it. And I'll catch you all again hopefully soon. Bye.